But you know what? No, no, I like my opponents leaving out of despair. Dealing damage is the weak way to win the game. Oh my god, their duo is absolutely insane. So they got basically triple prowess. Quadra pro. Well, if that's not the most impressive magic ever, I don't know what is. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today an absolute Orzhov beast that plays second in MTG Online tournament, so we are getting the full best of 3 experience, except the fact that we are playing best of 1, alright? But you get the sideboard, and I'll be honest, I actually was impressed with how well the deck does in best of 1. It seems to be extremely packed with value while also being super cheap, super quick, and you will see it in action, you will understand. So of course the main engine is Caretaker's talent, you guys asked for a deck with this, and I think this is a worthy one. And of course you draw so many cards while also life gaining, having 1 mana removal, you will even see Kaya in action, and for, you know, the top end you go Virtue of Loyalty and all of your tokens just run your opponent's over. The interesting part is we don't play even lockdowns, we only play 2 Sunfalls, we actually fight for the board and we win for it. So guys, I think you will like it, let's go into games, and yeah, thank you for being part of the channel. As always, I really do appreciate you, so you know, just wanted to say thank you before we start, and let's have some fun. Alright guys, our opponent is going first, but we have laid down arms into the cake and preacher, so I think it should be nice. Well. I'm so happy that I have this card, and this is insane draw, because the fact that we can answer it, they really needed this one to amplify all the synergies. So like for lizards, 2 drops are super important, especially the one that, you know, keeps creating mana, so we can start chaining them. So if you break it, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. We won't have too much more removal, but if we get rid of this, it could be everything for them. This is a 4th land. I think we go like this. We want to draw into more removal. This one is interesting. It's basic kinda removal. A little bit extreme, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. We go for this one. We want to keep the board clear, even though they deal damage. They don't trigger any synergies. And our opponent is at 26, so he is obviously winning. I hope they don't have too many more synergies and, you know, like good lizards. Oh boy. Alright, this is the worst one. Okay, this was really, really bad. This is the one that we really needed to remove. Alright, so I think we have to go for this guy, right? This is so bad, man. Yep, let's go, because we get this cry. We probably want to go into something like a Sunfall. This is not bad, honestly, but with double cake I think we need something better. Alright. This will be interesting. So they hit a land, it's Fountainport. My hope is that we can double block it with Virtue, but they have some combat tricks, so this could be really rough. Yep, that's the one. That's the one. They finally can get it. But they could... Oh man. Well, this would be rough, but the bat cannot hit the Sunfall because we don't have it. So that's our good counterplay. Our strategy is to not have the cards that win the game, so they cannot discard them. We just need to, you know, top deck them. That's the play. Alright, alright. So we go... Oh, they've seen Virtue. That's bad. Alright. Listen. Alright. I think we go with this one. We create 1 more token and we try to get into those Sunfalls. That's a big deal. And they know that we can still make a Virtue. If they do nothing, we can go for the cake. Alright, double land, man. I don't have too many Sunfalls in this deck. I really don't want to see them, you know, hit it. Oh boy, this will be hard. I will even make an upkeep stop, man. This is such a good card. Like at this point, I think we have to play a sweeper. Yep, infinite card load. That's how we do it in aggro decks. No salt included, absolutely. Alright, so they cannot attack with this because then they can lose it, right? And they know about it. Let's go for this plan. We probably want planes. Even though it doesn't make a difference, it should be good enough. Let's go for this one. We are not doing anything more, right? I mean, we can just double block. Alright, so if we sacrifice this, it's a little bit better. Because we get this cry. But we lose more tokens. Do we want to go for the Virtue? Is that... That's not a bad play, you know? We can try to really outvalue them. I will try to play like this. Did they go for the throat? Alright, they are tapped anyway. I don't think we can afford the upkeep play like this. Let's go to the main phase. We crack the passage. And it will get rough, guys. It will definitely get rough. We have the fortress, so that's something. Listen, let's try. We will have 4 in stats, basically. And we cannot attack with this. And then we'll try to make the tokens. Well, this is so painful. Beza. Alright, we have 1 card, so they need to play a card and then pay 4 mana for Beza if they want to draw a card, which is the worst part. This feels like a removal. Huh. That's good for them, so now they can attack with the flint, which is great. I think we go like this. It's not lethal yet. It's not lethal yet, but man, it's close. We cannot block the bat. Alright, guys. Okay. With this draw we should be able to win somehow, right? So we make a token, they don't know about it. It can trade into Geth, probably. So we this is at the start of their upkeep, right? So I think this is our victim. I'm a little bit scared of the bat, but it's only 1 damage a turn. It's only 1 damage a turn. I could also go for this and play Preacher, but then this draws cards, so that's super bad for us. And this deals damage to our face, which is also not incredible. But we can use the cakes. You know what? This is better, right? This way we get scries, we get creatures, and we get stat boost. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, let's lose the scry. This is most of our life gain, so we need to right now respect our 10 life, because we ain't getting more. But on the bright side, they have 1 card, we disable their card draw, and they cannot attack on ground. So man, this is so close. If they don't draw good cards right now, I think we are extremely like getting ahead. Yep. If Bat is the only attack, let's see the synergy, because they have something. It might have been activated by the Bat. Oh, this is the draw. Okay, so they want to get something at the end step. Man, this is actually getting really good for us. Let's go for this, so we can get more value. I should attack first, but it doesn't matter too much. We could also go the Preacher, but I don't think it's worth it. Man, this deck is so cool. Like, we will actually start pressuring them super hard. They're at 30, so it will take a moment, but in the end it will be the same. They will get something back, so let's see what the card is. It probably will be Flynn. Or this Mentor. Mentor is extremely strong card. And when you are drawing 3 cards a turn, it's kinda crazy. And Bat will always enable it. I think this is a very good call for them. So this is the card we need to kill, because the power of them not hitting correct card is insane. So with this they will always start hitting, you know, some valuable targets. Yep. This hurts. Also have some cakes in the deck, so we might, you know, get some more life gain later. Alright, they really want to swing, but this is already enough, and this already draws a card. So we need to kill it, so they don't draw those 2 extra cards there. They have mana prepared. And with this, I think we might be able to win. Especially that we have Vigilance, basically. So this will be very quickly, if we can start attacking with Fortress as well. Bat is okay. They know... it's a 2-2. Oh, it's just creature, not even lizards. I mean, sure. Okay, this is a nice one, honestly. Okay, but you do it later. First you swing. We know they cannot remove Virtue, so we don't need to get scared for attacking. I could live gain, but this live gains even more. And before the end, man, we are actually winning. They had such a good draw, man. Such a good draw, and it wasn't... Okay, it was close. It was close. But we really overpowered him in the end. Beza, absolutely. Always a great card. Especially when you have this kind of pressure in the board. So they cannot attack, they can only deal 3 damage a turn, and we are scaling like crazy. I think we might even go with the Fortress, but we'll see. Yeah, whatever they play, I don't think it will be enough. We definitely full swing here. But the question is, do we go with the Fortress for a little bit extra damage? It's what, 12, 16, so we are not winning. We are not winning. That means to turn lethal, that means we need to focus on the defense. They cannot really block anything, like it doesn't change anything, so they're playing correctly, just waiting and trying to fish for this lethal. Well, that's awkward. That is very awkward. Alright, from the start I wanted to make this play, and don't let Beza fool you. It was never about gaining life on the last turn when they really need to kill us and we are at 4. Well, to be honest, I kinda took the risk. Absolutely unnecessary risk. So of course this was a heavy misplay. We wanted to play Beza before combat phase. I forgot we might have more life than our aggro opponent. And as you can see, even with their insane draw, we managed to stay ahead. Alright, well, on the draw again, shuffler. Alright, so with the cake and go for the throat, I think we are kinda okay. We'll definitely be behind just by, you know, being bad at magic and being on the draw, which is the worst sin you can ever commit. And let's see how the pump goes. They know on this turn we cannot interact. Slick shot, well, so they're preparing for the huge turn. That also means we kinda cannot ever, you know, tap ever main phase because we die. Oh my god, their draw is absolutely insane. So they got basically triple prowess, quadra pro. Well, if that's not the most impressive magic ever, I don't know what is. However, we have Beza, so if we ever can get, like, they need to pump it. They need to play into removal. And they should equip one of the Swift Spears. They know we have something, one of those. And that means, well, honestly, I think we have to kill it. Just because it's so much damage on this turn that Slickshot is just weaker. Like, if you don't have pump spells, Slickshot does not too much, to be honest. We can go with the Evangelist, which is nice. Caretaker stand is so good, but I don't think we have time. Like, by being on the draw, we already lost all of our advantage. So with Evangelist, we can start kinda trying to trade. Then we go Beza. Like, I think we're under such insane pressure that we have to go for this. This creates a lot of, you know, chaos in the board. So, you know, it's all about the draws. Their opening is absolutely insane. Everything with haste. They drew 4 Swift Spears. If they have buff spell, this is incredible draw. I think that's not enough though, huh? Right? We need to block. We also get the bat, so it's okay. We need to mitigate as much damage as possible, because they don't really have more plays. Alright. Alright, so this has to be Beza. We're not getting card, but we are getting all the other value. They might equip Slick Shot, so, you know, we need to be careful. And even with this absolutely busted draw on the play, I think we have a fair chance at winning. Man, if I had more tempo, that would be so much easier. 3 damage. I don't think I can risk it. If they have a pump spell, well, if they have trample, there's not much you can do, but everything else is super good for us. So we should go Kaya, and we start getting rid of the flyers. They also need to equip the Bane Splitter again, which will cost them the turn, and they don't want to waste a turn on this. So we kinda disabled it for a very long time. Challenger. They kinda need to start attacking into, well... Alright, so we probably go like this, and they drew a pump spell because they are good at magic, apparently. So I think we kinda have to go like this. They didn't go for Kaya. I hope they cannot pump it above 4/4, but well, of course they do. Why would you need to make plays if you can just draw a card that absolutely overwhelms everything every turn? So great, really fun. So let's go for the spirit. This is our kind of advantage. I think we still have to go with the cake. We could go Elspeth, but that means we cannot do any interactions, and that's really not great for us. We need to keep getting extra value. Like, we have way stronger deck, and they cannot top deck forever, right? At some point they will actually whiff. So this turn is card cake. With double planeswalkers we can always trigger Caretaker star. Imagine if we were on the play and we could cast this, so now we would be swimming in removal. Yep. They invested a lot of cards. Of course they drew a card that instantly pumps the whole board. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Always fun. So it seems that they top decked again. So they will go for the Swift. They actually played the deck very well. So I think they will make the correct call, buff the Swift Spear. Probably the unblocked one. Because other... Yeah, they will go for this one. We could also go for the cake. That's a hard one, so they will pump it. I don't really think we want to respond to it. This is so much damage though. I will just block those. Okay, this is good because it forces them to pump this guy if they want to go with the damage. This doesn't give trample, right? Well, it doesn't give trample. So they wasted all of the damage. Really? Is that really a good play? Do I miss something? They wasted all of this damage. They could go for the challenger, and sure, we could remove it, but they made a play that never works. Like, even if I didn't have removal, it wouldn't work. So that's an interesting one. We have a lot of mana. I think this is the moment, right? We have to go for it, and we can double draw on this turn, which is huge. Let's go for the spirit. They cannot top deck it forever, right? Right? We can make a copy, and I think that's good enough, right? Because then we are doing 3 cards basically. And look how much we need to work to just be able to survive and sneak any kind of value. Slickshot. Extremely strong card, but they need a buff spell. The moment they stop drawing them, we are on the bright side of this game. And we are starting to get the value. Instantly a buff spell, easy. That also pumps Slickshot. That's nice. Oh boy, let's go for this one. Let's see what we draw. We will soon start drawing Lay Down Arms and all of this stuff. And this is interesting, but so slow. It kinda gives us token, but we pay 4 mana for it. So I think we need to get into something better. Because we are drawing those cards. Well, extremely bad draw, but we still need to get through them somehow. And that forces a pump spell, right? I really want to preserve my life total. Is that really another top deck in a row? I mean, of course, why wouldn't you top deck again? Well, just a great player of Monored, you know? And here I am with 3 lands from the top. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. We could try to remove the Slickshot and keep it on the ground. Yeah, I think we have to go for this. This is also a life linker. Go for the throw. Good draw. Finally, something that we really care about. Let's go for the passage. I probably want to remove the Slickshot though. If we go for another creature, we will double block. They will... On this turn we have insane advantage. We know exactly what our opponent draws. We have full information on the next turn. So yep. So I think we double block those. This doesn't give trample. They cannot give trample. So now they have to go for it. Yeah, this is better. And then on the next turn we can go absolutely crazy because we invested a lot into long-term value on this turn. So every next turn will be way easier. So if we can survive this one so easily, everything should be great. Good call, but it doesn't matter too much because we are as long as they have nothing that gives trample, and we have... Well, man, we are winning this game. Like, we actually will win this game, which is crazy. I could go Slick Shot. No, I want to block this because I want for them to target this. Thank you for participating in the experiment. And that means we solved everything. And you can clearly see that Caretaker's talent is absolutely taking over the game. Our draw is super bad, honestly. We don't even have removal. Their draw was absolutely insane on the play with basically 4 Swift Spears into Slickshot into perfect top decks for 4 turns in a row. And as you can see, even this wasn't enough to beat us. Alright, back to being on the draw. Alright, I love it. I love it. Yep, let's see some red mountains with Swift Spears. Because that's so rare to see, man. It's crazy. I forgot what the deck is. I definitely didn't play against it 3 times in a row already. Well, I mean, why would you play Magic if you can play mono red? Alright, Slick Shot. That's actually really good for us. Well, I would prefer them to whiff, of course, but I don't even assume this is possible, because now we have removal against it. And this is the moment when they want to pump spells, so they want to pump everything into Scamp and get Slick Shot to get free value. I should click it faster, now they know we have removal, but they probably won't make any good decision anyway. Yep, as you can see, it doesn't matter. They might Felonious Rage, but they're still losing most of the value. They want to get this synergy of hitting with a Scamp and, you know, sacrificing a Scamp, which is insane damage. Like, in that kind of scenario, Emosus Rage deals 6 damage for 1 mana, which is double Lightning Bolt, which is why the deck feels absolutely insane. Alright, great, great, great. I guess we go Fountainport. So the question is, if we tap for talent, we will probably die, right? That's always the fun part of playing against mono red. I think we have to go for Get Lost and then we go Cake into Get Lost. Like, we don't have a moment to play an actual value game, because then we lose instantly, and they cannot satisfy themselves with 2 damage, they need more on this turn. Yep, they will go with the hero probably. They will also get the map tokens, which is kinda not amazing for us, to be absolutely honest. But I have to go for it. I have to go for it. That's already a lot of damage. The token will never block the mouse. So I wonder, they might pump something. Well, the problem is that they drew a card. That's on the rough side. I don't care about damage too much, but the fact that they can follow up is a rough one. I wonder if they play the land, probably not. Yep, so they can also use the map tokens on the same turn. We can kill it, this is their last thing, and we can live game. So there is a chance. Okay, I hope that they will take it, to be absolutely honest. Let's go for the passage. I want to make sure that we don't have too many lands in the library. Don't forget, it's strictly better to play Fabled Passage in this situation, because you get 1 less land in your library, so your draws are just better. You know, just simply better. So we go to 8. We get rid of the bad card from the top, and as I said, I get instantly a plains at the top anyway. 1 card, so at the best case, well, the map tokens hurts. But I think in this situation, we actually will kill it. This is such a huge deal if they don't get to scry, basically. Extremely, extremely great draw. This is probably game-winning draw right now. They cannot do anything, I think. Yep. This is the last draw that matters. If they whiff, they instantly lose. We can just enjoy the moment because they lost. Yeah. Alright, I honestly expected them to scoop after 3 seconds of, you know, waiting. Now we can start doing cards, and there are more planes at the top of the library. This card Cake basically drew us 2 cards. So now we can go for this one. I guess I actually need the planes right now. Like, we are getting so much value, and this deck has live game, so this is actually really good for us. I think we go still like this, man. This is good enough. If we can basically get 5 toughness and 4 life, it's like 9 damage absorption, which means we can actually attack. But you know what? No, I like my opponents leaving out of despair. Like, you know, dealing damage is the weak way to win the game. You will see, the explosion will come way faster. So they already know the card. If they're staying, that might mean something like Slick Shot, and they're calculating the damage right now. Because they might go over the top on this 1 turn because we are tapped. So go for the throw doesn't work. I actually realized that we had less lands than the aggro player, so we got the treasure token. Oh man, that's hilarious. So will that be a rope, or they're just thinking so long about one new card? I think this will be a rope. You know, I guess mono red players always say that it's the most efficient deck, so I'm sure they care about efficiency even if they are losing, and not only when they are winning. Well, we know the answer, so let's cut the video. They are extremely salty and they wanted the rope, so I think this town ain't big enough for both of us, my friend. And let's enjoy the moment. So now we have even more. Man, we are kinda crushing it. Let's go with this one. And I'll tell you, man, I will win this game without dealing a single damage to my opponent's face. Well, let's enjoy the moment, because the emotional damage is enough and it's better than life's damage. Man, imagine playing mono red, being on the play, going all of this stuff and still losing and being salty. Well, that's the way of mono red player. Alright guys, it seems that we are finally on the play once. So this is definitely Backstreet, I think into a land. I love this card, but even though you want to keep it, I know you want it, it's such a good card, you need talent more. As long as you can play this, you should be okay. And you need to draw lands for it. So we will go with a cake, which kind of forces a reaction in a way, because Scamp is not good enough to, you know, to use it. Do we want this though? Do we have some token enabler? I think now it's better. I think now it's better. And if we drew the first one, it would possibly be game losing decision. Like we would actually be so unhappy to see the second one in a row. All right, see, they cannot pump. Sure, that's weird. I thought they will attack with everything and pump the Scamp if they have to, enabling the prowess on this one. All right, our mono red player had a moment of peace with himself. Preacher is such a strong card here. I think we are not leaning too much into talent right now. We try to fight card for card. Preacher is an insane problem for them, especially that we are on 19. They cannot really, like, if they attack, they risk they are losing everything. Really, bro? What is the play? This is some devious gameplay. I think they have the Sellsword and they are trying to think about like going over 20 without going into combat phase even. I think they actually might win on this turn. It feels like they definitely have sacrifice effect, and I think they are trying to prepare for Leaf already. Okay, man, this is so weird. If they don't kill us on this turn, I don't think they can win the game. 3%. This is such a weird situation. Alright, so I could draw a card, but that lowers our defense. We can also go for double removal. So the obvious play is this. That's what we have to do. Because this card moment, do we feel that we can survive one hit? Yep, our opponent cannot even survive thinking, so I guess we can. They honestly, after they lost Scamp, they played so weird. They invested everything into Scamp, always not using the pump basically, and then after they lost it, they left the game. Alright, I mean, I'll take my win, you know? Alright, I hope you enjoyed this absolutely action-packed video, and man, I think we basically played only aggro decks today, and the fact that we came so victorious is super fun. Man, I'll be honest, the deck really impressed me, but before we go into the details, and I'm trying to make the outro a little bit shorter, because you will be seeing this video on the same day I recorded it, so, you know, I need to keep the time, I don't want it to be late. So guys, really thank you for supporting on the Patreon. It really does make a difference for a channel, and your support goes a really long way for, you know, channel's future. So thank you for that, it means a lot, and I hope you are enjoying the content, especially with the new set barely behind the corner, so I'm really excited for the next one. So guys, what about this deck? I had a huge fear that it doesn't have enough value. Sweepers, this is completely not the type of deck I'm usually playing. Like, you only have 2 sweepers. That means you basically need to win every game on board with pure value of mono, you know, against things like mono red or even like mid-range decks. The Evangelist felt extremely off. Like, you don't really go white with this deck. Like, you kinda go, but those are 1/1 tokens. So the buff kinda doesn't do too much. It doesn't isn't an aggro deck, but the real power of this creature is that it always creates so much stuff. It's basically 3 different creatures with a single card, and this deck is a testimony of how insanely packed with value this card is. And with, of course, things like talent, those tokens make a real difference, because potentially this can give you 2 extra cards even if it dies. So it always slows your opponent down, and after playing with this card, I have to say, man, it really fits the deck. It's actually worth a spot of a creature, which is insanely good card as well. Kaya really contributed to this one. The fact that you can make a token at the same time, it is your removal. Like, we're kinda low on remove. Well, maybe not low, but you know, we don't have as much as some of the control decks, so we need to kinda, you know, get this value where we can. And Lay Down Arms, absolutely a huge hero of the deck. I think I will try to make a control with this one. It's just so good against all the red decks. The fact you exile instantly, is you pay 1 mana, so even if you are on the draw, you can basically trade for like 2 cards in a row. And that means your opponent very likely doesn't have the third one, and maybe he can even scoop. You will have games like this. So, and with Beza, of course. Beza is the backbone of this deck, you know, making those tokens so Caretaker's talent is triggered, drawing cards in case you are really fighting and scrapping for this value, and just being a huge brick so you can get this extra time. The point of this deck is that if you have time, you have more value. So the more pressured you are, the more you need, you know, something super defensive that keeps you afloat so you can play the talent, level it up, and get all the sweet value, and then you are insanely ahead against most of the decks. I didn't even use the Fountainport because the games were so quick, so extreme, and yeah, we still won. So I really think it's nice. I won't talk too much about the sideboard. I mean, it was 2nd place, so this should be a good sideboard, alright? That's all I'm gonna tell you. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you guys tomorrow.